it was a hike that you did, but it wasn't necessarily about you per se. It was, obviously, but like you also highlighted a lot of like the people.
No, I'm just filming it.
5 years ago, I took my first steps on the 2,653-mile long stretch of dirt that took me from Mexico to Canada. A stretch of dirt that changed my world.
I wonder where you are. I can't see the stars.
I'm 3 through hikes deep now. My past 5 years redirected by that trail. But the thing is, it was never just about me.
Well, hello there, Tip Tap.
And then I would love to have one of them.
5 miles up here.
It's Glaze Honey Buns.
Jeez.
Dude, we hit 5 years since the PCT.
It's wild.
You know what's wild, Tip Tap? Dude, Tip Tap,
I need to tell you that I don't know how to fold a samosa. So they're like empanadas. So they're Indian empanadas. This is my chutney.
Nice melody.
Thanks.
That is
Is that way too many?
Best weight-price ratio, I would say.
Yeah.
In the blue and gray. Oh,
So I'm kind of just going through and asking questions about life.
What's the greatest gift that through hiking has given?
I think it's maybe everyone's first introduction to like a societal life outside of the one that we're used to.
Before the PCT, I didn't hike at all. I think the PCT was my first ever backpacking trip.
Really?
I think you got to see a lot of that. Yeah, I don't know. I was just a boy from the dirty South, you know, and very closed-minded.
Oh, I think it completely changed around my value system, 100%.
A mantra that I live with and am reminded by in my daily challenges now is reminding myself that I can do hard things.
It's just such an eye-opening experience. Like for me, it like completely shifted my whole life.
And knowing that something else can exist, but isn't within like the constructs of how we are taught to live. Like that first glimpse of it is like shattering, like shatters your perception of like, what, like, why are we doing any of this, you know?
Didn't have like near as much rigidity after that. I was okay with being uncomfortable.
And now I feel like I can live my life more authentically. I feel like
I don't need to fear stuff or not be afraid on the first sight.
And once you have that little data point on yourself, and then there's so many things that you can prove to yourself of other people might think are silly or out of this world, and you can say,
I can do anything that I put my mind to if I can imagine it, and then if I can do it. I know I can, right?
So good. Irishman. Hey. Okay, so a theme I'm noticing with through hikers is that they all end up
running ultra marathons.
Yeah, I've got a 50-miler June 1st.
Oh, that's so sick.
And then
There's one in July I might do, but let's keep looking. Literally just put a post up today being like, yo, where are the runs?
Which actually leads me to today's sponsor. I know, very smooth transition, AG1.
I look into the sunlight and I drink my...
And I just want to point out that I was pre-Huberman and actually drank AG1 when I was hiking the PCT 5 years ago, back when they were called something else. Anyway, I knew while I was hiking out there that I was not going to be eating a lot of veggies at all. So I figured to have some semblance of baseline health, I would drink AG1 kind of every other day. Yeah, I'm stoked to be working with them. And now that I'm training for my second ultra, they are perfect for having immediately after destroying my body. Which, you know, now that you bring it up, I am now on Strava. You can read more about what's inside, but essentially there's magnesium, zinc, vitamin C, B vitamins, and a whole other range of micronutrients.
All those vitamins. All those vitamins. Now get the BTS.
I eat my toast every day.
I eat my pancakes and sugar every day.
I am
I eat bananas and berries.
So if you do want to give it a go, follow my link, scan the QR code, and yeah, try it out. You'll get a free shaker, free canister, a year's supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free travel packs. Thank you, AG1. You know, I tend to avoid looking back at photos, videos, visual timestamps, so tactile. I know when my eyes meet their shapes, I'll be pulled back into a black hole of nostalgia. Youth and joy and reckless abandon, a timestamp so embedded in who I am. I avoid looking back because I know. Yeah, it was your first kind of experience in that world. Do you remember the feeling when you got home?
I was devastated. I was totally devastated for the adventure to end and to have to deal with
getting home and feeling kind of broken up with from the trail, and like feeling like there's this loss in my heart and something that I was ready to kind of part with and segment, but it still was there, right?
Let's say after the first week, I missed it. Yeah. Post-trail depression is real.
And I think all of us probably experienced that, like this kind of emptiness after leaving.
I am on the Pacific Crest Trail, the very beginning. I know I'll never have an experience even remotely like it again. It's sad. It's beautiful. It's growth.
We're so free. It's something that I look back on and I love it so much.
I mean, when I think back on it, I immediately start smiling. It's just pure joy.
And it was like the most freedom I'd ever experienced in my entire life. But it was also like the most reckless.
Well, you could be totally, genuinely, unapologetically you when you're on the trail. Like, you can be as quirky and yourself as you want to be. And when you're alone, and there's so much time when you are alone, you can talk to the trees if you want to. And moreover, you can just connect with people. And I think that connection is something that all of us really, really want in life. But in our normal day-to-day lives, we just have too many barriers up and these things that make it really difficult, it seems, to connect.
Everyone thinks it's going to look a certain way, but then obviously, you know, things aren't in your control. Did you feel peace with your decision in finishing the way you did?
I wasn't sad to quit or so, and as I learned in the years after, it's absolutely normal. Like so many people did it before. If you don't enjoy it, what do you want to do? It doesn't make sense. But of course, it's still in my head. Someday I will do it again. Or I plan to do it again.
The whole thing?
Yeah, it's a dream, right?
It's like part of getting off trail is the trail also, you know, and it's like how do you adapt and like incorporate certain things and hold on to certain things, but also like choose to let go of things in order to assimilate, you know?
Hiking the PCT didn't solve my problems. It didn't give me clear direction. Honestly, it complicated everything, every aspect of my life. And for that, I'm most grateful.
What's next on your list?
Yeah, this is always the question. You always feel like, oh, I'm done. But then, you know...
There's literally always going to be a list, no matter what.
It's a constant question, eh? It's like once you do one and then you do a couple, it's like, this is you for the rest of your life. And wait, you're hiking the Colorado Trail this year?
End of July.
What?
And I would like to do the CDT at some point, but obviously that's a massive commitment, so maybe do the Arizona Trail at some point. That looks pretty sweet, but yeah, that's really about it. I have no desire to do the AT, obviously.
You know, surprisingly enough, I think the AT might be on my list, which is so funny.
If I was going to do a trail, I would like to do the Sierra High Route would probably be next. And then really the CDT is the only like big trail that's left.
I mean, eventually I want to do the CDT, but I really want to do it when I'm older. Like I want to do it like achy knees, wrinkles.
I want to do it, but I also want to do it when I need it or when I feel like really called and excited to do it, and not just because it's like the next one to do, you know?
Fiddle and 11 both did CDT as well, but the same thing where it's like waiting, it's a sense of like waiting for it to feel like the right time versus just forcing it.
we could make it feel like the right
I
time.
know, we can have a
Very
reunion tour. Wait.
Let's run it back.
Just like the old times for you.
Okay, I have one last question. What are you excited by right now?
New nostalgia, long flights, red eyes, dancing till the sunrise. The change of scene is gone before
Really good.
we find the camera.
Maybe my health. That sounds so dorky, I guess, but it really feels like deeply fulfilling rather than just being excited about like some thing to happen or some like short-term gain or something like this.
If we can.
I have this partner now who I'm like obsessed with, my best friend. Amazing, long story there, and we have 2 dogs now. This is like a complete 180 from how I was living my life, and I'm not mad about it. I don't regret it, but like usually at this time I'm like planning something epic. So instead, we're gonna do more ultras.
Music of the boulevard, it sounds so sweet. I can hear the new nostalgia.
Unnecessary as for my next big trip, but also I have a packed summer, going on a festival, going on shorter hiking trips. I also have a tattoo date, big thing on my arm with, of course, mountains and trees.
Start where we left off. Beginning to think that we never even start. Let's go get
Moving across the country for his residency was so hard, but finding ways to make it work, finding ways to split time between our community here in Virginia, our community in Utah, has been so worth it. So now I'm just excited to get married, get through residency, and then start a family when we move back to Utah.
if you can, till we find our way again.
I am excited for my first 100 milers, see if I can do that distance. I'm kind of excited by the rumblings of maybe reunion tour on the CDT.
If we can.
What's the greatest gift that through hiking has been?
To me, it's pretty simple in a lot of ways. It's just completely expanded what I believe is possible in my life. When you come from a kind of insular environment where you've shifted the trajectory of your life and you do something really difficult, you begin to realize that there's so many other difficult things that you can do. And that's why I think I'll continue to come back to through hiking, just to remind myself that anything you think is too difficult to do, usually it's just your mentality that can change.
Won't you help me, 'cause I get this feeling when I'm walking through the door. I just don't know why I do it. My hands are shaking more and more. I don't want to go, but my friends make me.
So I have a SCOBY, and I think I named him Jacoby